Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Truth Bombs and Hot Flushes. Our guest today is the lovely Jayshree Naidu, a woman who has walked a deeply layered journey with grace and courage. She recently turned 50. She does not look it at all. I mean, you're aging like fine wine, yeah? She's approaching her silver wedding anniversary. How insane is that? Wow. Has served over 2 decades in the government sector and yet continues to nurture her passions for cooking and for writing. So Jayshree's story includes early infertility due to PCOS, which I think a lot of us women can relate to, the grief of unmet expectations, and the powerful redirection that led her to adoption and motherhood. She's also raising a beautiful daughter with ADHD and brings a grounded, compassionate perspective on parenting, identity, and purpose. Welcome, Jayshree.
Thank you so much, Chantal.
It's so nice having you here.
I know. Thank you.
So-
it's beautiful.
How have you been feeling getting here? How's Jayshree arriving here today?
Okay, it's been a whirlwind journey getting up the hill here from Westville, I must say. Yeah,
Fields Hill is a
and
special place.
especially the roadworks. I particularly enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So getting my makeup on and coming to see
Stunning,
you,
stunning.
so I could be, my fabulous self.
Yes,
For you. So it's been wonderful, and it's I'm glad to be here, and I want to thank you for this opportunity, for giving me this opportunity to speak about my story. And for creating this platform for people, for women in particular, to come and speak. We all have unique stories.
yes.
We all have something wonderful to offer. And the fact that you're letting us, be our authentic selves is wonderful. And I thank you for that. And for choosing me.
Oh, you're most welcome. I think your story is one that really needs to be heard, and I think it's going to resonate with so many women out there that have been in your shoes and are going through, similar situations, and to hear it from someone who has been there, done that. Because I think in the day and age that we're in, we don't want to speak up because, again, societal constraints, basically. So it's nice to have women just lay their hearts on the table. So with that said, marriage, oh my God, let's get to this 25 years. What?
Yes, I know. A lot of people don't see 25 years of marriage
Give us
nowadays.
the recipe here.
Yeah, I wish I did have one, since I like cooking.
Yes.
I can tell you probably lots of masala and and ilachi was used. But, it's been quite
On
a
the not
road.
so happy days, the lots of ilachi was using there.
So I
definitely.
really wanted him to bite into the
into
ilachi
it.
many times. But, I met my husband on a blind date.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, tell us more now.
We were set up by his cousin,
Wow.
who was a friend of mine.
Okay.
And, when I met him, when I saw him, I wasn't somebody who had lots and lots of boyfriends and went out on lots of dates and all of that. But when I met him and I saw him, it was just, I just knew, like,
Love at first sight moment.
yeah, I don't know whether it was for him, but it was for me. Maybe if you
say it was
ask
for him.
him, maybe he'll give you a different version.
Yeah.
But when I met him, I knew he was the guy for me.
Aw.
And 25 years later, I still feel that way about
Oh
him.
my gosh.
Yeah, I do.
That
And
is
we've
just
had
precious.
a really, really challenging marriage. We've had many obstacles to face. And its days have been, we've had our really hard days.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like for anybody
Oh,
else.
of course. Yeah.
But we weathered many storms. But I can really tell you, in all honesty, I would never have chosen a better person to be with or be at my side. And he's been an excellent husband to me. He does get on my nerves.
As do all our husbands.
But I think, for most of the part, he's been amazing. He's been an amazing husband. And he has been with me through all my challenges, and the same for him. And together, I like to think that we built a beautiful life for ourselves. something that means the world to
world,
me,
yeah.
and nurturing it, protecting it, and loving it, and making it last forever is what makes me happy. So yeah, he's
Yeah, I mean,
definitely
I
the guy
think,
for me.
marriage is something that I think in this day and age, a lot of people do take for granted, and each to their own with their own, background of it. It just takes when you were chatting now, I'm just thinking it takes me back to I gave a speech for one of my older brother's weddings, and I was just married, newly married in the honeymoon phase. I think maybe 3 or 4 months, and I remember in the speech saying, "Oh, whoever said marriage was not a bed of roses is talking absolute nonsense." God, could I bite my tongue now? 'Cause-
Yeah,
and
lots of
I
thoughts
remember
there.
my cousins, all the ones that were married, were like, "Yeah, okay, you're still in the honeymoon phase." And I'm like, "No, it can be a bed of roses." And then you get hit with all these trials and tribulations, and you gotta like still stand strong, even on days that you're feeling so depleted. You feel like this is too much of work. It's too hard work, but to be resilient and continue and work together is so important. But I think the bigger picture is it's not a bed of roses.
No.
And I think in order for two people to grow as well, you have to go through the challenging times.
Yes. And that's what you said, the
Yeah.
two important words you've used, hard work.
Yeah.
It is a lot of hard work.
yeah.
You can't give up, even on your worst days.
Yes, yes.
You have to just continue
Yeah.
moving on, putting one foot into the next to the other, in
Yes.
front of the other, and moving on.
Yes, yes.
And that takes a lot of hard work. And also growth. You are growing. The two of you are growing together.
Yes.
You're starting off when you're 25. I mean, I got married when I was 25.
Just like
and
me.
now
Okay,
I'm 50.
okay, yeah.
So that's 25 years. That's a whole
this person,
lifetime
yes.
of growing
Wow.
and changing and becoming a different person.
yes.
Different versions
Of yourself.
Yes.
That's it.
But always knowing that, you're looking on your side and that person's there.
Yes, that's your
and
safe place.
That
Yeah.
is, and that he's always going to be there, or
Yeah,
she's always
yeah.
going to be there. That is, where you have to get your comfort from.
Yeah,
Knowing this
yeah.
person's not going to let you down and not going to throw in the towel. That's important.
Even in your craziest of
Yeah.
days.
Or
you
even
know,
if they
that-
want to throw in the towel, you need to remind them why you got
Why-
married
yes,
and the vows
yes.
that you took. To me, that's very
Yeah,
important. The
yeah.
vows that
It's
I
quite
took
sacred.
to be with this man in every circumstance and situation. And yeah, I think that's why I'm still here.
Yeah.
And he should also be lucky.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
yes.
that
I
I'm
was
still
waiting
here.
till you. I was waiting for you to say that. He
So,
needs to be lucky.
yeah, so-
very lucky.
We're lucky. Both of us are lucky. He luckier than me.
I hope there's big celebrations there. 25.
Yeah, look, there have been,
Yeah.
there has been in through the year, because I turned 50 and it was the 25th.
Yeah, tell him
wedding
it's your year of celebrations.
I think
yeah. Every month should be a celebration.
the celebrations will continue.
Yes, yes.
And even if it means me just celebrating myself,
Yeah. Of course.
I'm going to do it. Yeah.
I mean, it's also a proud moment for a man individually and a woman individually to think against all odds,
How far
you
you've
guys have come so far. 25 years. There's not a lot of people that can say with 25 years of marriage, especially in the day and age that we live in where it's so easy to throw in the towel.
Yes.
I always say, like, I think our generations, we are hardcore.
Yeah.
I think the younger generation now it's so easy to actually just throw in the towel
they're
and
not
say,
willing
let's
to pull up
put-
the
yeah,
fight, so
yeah,
to speak. Yeah.
yeah.
So that is sad because,
Yes.
marriage is still and will always be sacred.
Sacred.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It'll always be that institution that absolutely sacred and it shouldn't be taken lightly.
Likely at all.
At all. So,
And I mean, it's the thing of two becoming one. It binds you together,
Yeah.
I think, like I always say, it's two becoming one. I firmly believe that. But we should also not forget who we are as well,
yes.
individually.
Yeah, not losing our
I think
individuality.
that is so important. But yeah, well done, man. Oh,
Thank you.
gosh, double high fives to you and your husband.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's quite a thing, to
Yes.
still be together. And even though, it's not, situations are not always ideal,
Yeah.
but we're still here. We're still
And push
fighting
through. Yeah.
another day,
And especially being married at 25, like I know, I always say, why did I get married at 25? I mean, if you look at it now, we were like so young, you know?
Yeah.
But you grow at 25, you're not, at 35, you're not the same person you were at 25. At 45, you're not the same person you were at 35. So it's all about growth, evolving, but also making sure to grow together,
Together, yes.
you know? So, yeah, wow. Okay, so we're going to go and touch a little bit of base on, not a little bit, I actually want a lot of PCOS, infertility. I think this is something so important. And I think for our listeners, also our viewers, there's a lot of women fighting infertility. It's a lot. I had PCOS. I've experienced being told I can't have children. So maybe my journey wasn't as extreme because I'm thankful that I, was able to carry 3 kids. But there's so many women that they want that, they're yearning for that. So how was it from you from start to, yeah?
Okay, thank you, Chantel. I regard it as a privilege and an honor you allowing me to speak about PCOS, having gone through it and infertility and my journey. I was diagnosed after marriage, when I really wanted to start a family and have children, and I had to visit my doctor. And, at every visit, when I think back, he told me he had something new to tell me that was wrong with me.
Oh gosh,
It's like Jayshree.
that must have been quite fun each visit.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
extremely overwhelming, having to listen to somebody tell you, okay, we've done the blood tests and this is wrong with you. We've done more and we found out, no, this is also wrong with you. So it was quite...
How old were you when this whole
I would say
thing started?
I was about 30.
Okay. And like 30 is like young and thriving. You don't expect to hear these things. It's like you going in, just like, check up, just make sure the uterus is fine, everything's in working order. And then you get hit with all of this.
Told that, actually, it's not in working order. Your engine is just not working. You...
like how did you feel? How did you take this in?
Yeah, it was extremely painful to hear that. Look, with me, I'm sure that I had PCOS and I had the symptoms way before marriage.
Right.
But it wasn't something that was discussed openly. It wasn't... I was only diagnosed, as I'm saying, after marriage. But I am convinced that I had it even while I was in school.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. I never anticipated that, this was become such a problem that would actually lead me to infertility. Not many people were talking about PCOS. What is that? What is it? Is it just having cysts?
And we weren't so educated about it. So we didn't know the extremity of it.
Yes, there wasn't much research.
Yeah.
It was everything. I think the trials, the research and all of that, maybe at that point was still in its infancy. Now there is so much more information available.
A lot. Yeah.
So when I got diagnosed, I really didn't know what this was. And the first thing that the doctor says to you when you have PCOS is you must lose weight. Now, I've always had a problem with weight, being overweight or having excess weight. And because of my height, I'm only 1.47 meters, which is very short.
Yes.
It's the height of a 15-year-old girl, I'm told. But that is my height. I never grew taller than that, but I had
the pressure now.
I had all the weight, and I could never lose it successfully.
Yeah.
And I tried many times, and that was the first point was, you need to lose weight in order to fall pregnant. You need to lose weight in order to have these other issues resolved. You have insulin resistance. You have a problem with your thyroid. And so which one are you supposed to resolve first?
So first, yes, what do you focus on? Like what?
And so it was always about the weight. And I won't lie to you, I tried many different things to lose weight. I'm not the most disciplined person you'll find. I really did want to have a baby, and I tried I was successful, and then the weight came back on, and it was on and
With
off.
PCOS, but that's just
That's the name
thing.
of the game.
That's
It's very difficult to lose weight, and it's not impossible.
Yeah,
You can do it.
You can. Yeah.
There's different ways now that you can do it, different methods, but
Yeah.
it involves being disciplined. You have to, and I won't lie, I'll be quite frank in saying I tend to lack
Yeah,
discipline
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not one of my endearing qualities.
Yes.
So I did lose, and then I put everything back on, and but today, sitting in front of you right now, I can tell you I own my weight. It's mine.
Yes. Yes.
I want to shed some of
Yes. But you are content and happy in
it, and
your
this
being
is
right
this
now.
is who
This
I
is
am.
who you
I
are.
understand
Yeah.
as I'm getting older, being 50,
Yeah.
that there's definitely actions and things that I need to do to ensure that now it's not about losing the weight to have a baby. It's about maintaining my health so that I'm
Yes,
here
to
for
be-
my daughter.
yes, yes.
So that I'm still here in the next 10 years to watch
Yeah.
her grow. So, the focus has changed.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
But that's where I started off. It always was about the weight.
Yeah.
And being overweight and being fat, and you need to get rid of that in order for you to have a baby.
Yeah.
And I wasn't particularly successful in that part. I did try treatment. I did, and it was also not successful. Very non-invasive treatment. And then I found out that I had a fibroid. A growing fibroid. This was quite a massive one, and it was growing on my uterus.
So it's like one thing after the next. It was just,
Yes, very, very much so. So I went for a scan one day, and there was this uterus growing like a baby almost, and totally like invading my uterus, which I needed. And I needed my uterus to have a
Yes,
baby,
yes.
and there was this alien in
just
there.
attached itself to
Just attached, was happy to be there and happy to be growing at a rapid rate. And the doctor said, no, you have to have this removed. And I was so scared. I took my time to wrap my head around going for an operation. I had never been for an operation previously in my life, and there was this alien being in me that needed to come out urgently. So I eventually got a very good doctor who took good care of me, and went into theater and basically removed this fibroid, which weighed 210 grams.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, after the operation, they kept it there.
That was a big.
And for me to see,
sure.
like a specimen, like something that would have been kept in a museum almost. So it was like,
And you were lugging this along.
Yes,
For
I had been nurturing it almost.
Yes.
In my body, something that was really killing me almost. And the doctor kept it aside for me to look at, and he said, this is what I took out of you. And after that procedure, I was not well. I was not well because there was sufficient damage that was done to my uterus. And the doctor was not very confident that I would be able to carry a baby after that.
Gosh.
So, yeah, it was quite...
Now, this was how long from finding out that you had PCOS?
Probably about 5 years later. So, after the op, I did heal, but not completely, because thereafter I tried, treatments, medication, and so on, and it just never worked. It just never worked. And it was an extremely painful time in my life. Painful time for me, for my husband, although
how did he
never really said much.
Okay.
His concern always was for me and my health, and
Yeah.
the whole operation and recovery process was it was hectic. And it was painful, and it was something that I'd never experienced in my life, that I had to go there. It did make me stronger, I won't lie, but
Of course.
it really took everything out of me. And now it was like, now what? Well, what am I going to do? Am I
Yeah,
still
like
going to
how
be?
do you, when did that realization hit? This is it, like hit you and your husband that it's not going to happen.
It wasn't
It's
at
not.
that point, because there was
Okay.
always hope.
Hope. Yeah.
There was always
Yeah.
hope that, I could still have a baby. And, you know, just don't think about it and put it out of your mind. And that's what I tried to do, but while I was doing that, putting it out of my mind and not thinking about it, the years were just
Yeah.
flying by,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And before you know it, I had reached a point where, you know what? I don't think this is going to happen, Jayshree. You know, there is a possibility. But having said that, I want to say to you that being a mother and having a child, it meant everything to me.
Yeah.
I was never ever willing to accept that I wasn't going to be a mother.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even though the odds were
Stacked
stacked
against
against
you.
me, my body was betraying me
Yeah.
at every turn. I can tell you, being a mother was the most
That was still
important.
priority in your mind. Your mind was still focused on,
Yes.
I
And
will be a mother.
I made a
Yeah.
commitment to myself that, you know what, I know that things are not going according to plan. This road that you're traveling on is definitely, God has a lot of faith in you, because
Yeah.
He's putting you on a road less traveled.
Yes.
But He is going to do something.
Yeah.
I feel it. Maybe there's a different, in motherhood involves a different route for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
But whatever it is, I'm willing to take it, because I'm not willing to
Just accept
accept
just,
and be someone who doesn't have a
yes,
child,
yes.
and not achieve motherhood.
So it was basically at that point where it was like your mind was like, you're going to be a mother. It might not be your normal avenue
yes,
of you carrying that baby, but you're going to birth your baby, but in a different space.
yes. And as I said, I was never ever willing, and not being a mother was never, that was not on the agenda for me. I wasn't going to accept it. Absolutely, hell no. And I said, I even cried out to God, I know I was meant to be a mother. Surely you didn't fashion me this way. You didn't
Yeah.
make me this way,
Yeah.
that I wasn't going to share my life with a
Yes.
child. I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to accept that at all. And I think
That's
once
brilliant.
you make that commitment to yourself, and you announce that to the world, to the universe, then
It's bound to bring something
yes,
back to
something
you.
is
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yes,
And I
yes.
always knew that it would.
Yes.
I always knew that one day you are going to see me with my daughter. You're going to see me with my daughter, because I always
You always wanted a girl.
always wanted
Yeah,
a daughter.
yeah.
So, as much as I never got to experience being pregnant. And I feel, and I will always feel, that I lost out on a very integral part of my womanhood, that I never got to have morning sickness and breastfeed and go and experience the whole labor process. And
Yeah.
I never got to do that.
I think that's every woman or majority of women. It's a thing. It's something that you believe that defines your womanhood.
Yeah, no, but it doesn't. As much
Yes,
as,
yes,
it doesn't
it
define you,
doesn't.
but it's an experience that I also wanted.
Yes,
I very much wanted
yes.
it. And I felt like, I was being denied something that was mine. And it took me a long while to accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I knew that as time went by, that the normal process of achieving motherhood, falling pregnant, going into labor, was not going to happen to me. And
And that's a hard realization.
yeah,
eh?
it's very hard. And sometimes I even wonder whether at this point in my life have I really accepted it, that I never got to experience something that many people have
Yeah,
taken for granted and have been
Yes.
blessed with,
Yes.
that I never got to experience it. And as much as I've made peace with it, I do think about it often. And I think for me to say that I don't would be a lie.
Of course, you're only human. Yeah.
So what I actually did was, having made a little bit of peace with my infertility, and also, making it known that I very much would want to be a mother, and I'm not going to accept that I'm not going to be, I started doing voluntary work.
Okay.
This is
okay.
how
This is the
everything's-
interesting part.
Yeah,
Tell me.
this is
Yeah,
how
yeah.
everything unfolded for me.
Yeah.
You know, there was the infertility journey, which was horrible, which was
Right.
hard. There was the PCOS journey,
Right.
which was difficult. It was hard, and I kept wondering why was God challenging me this way. But I knew that He had something in
Yes.
store for me.
You
There
started to
always,
finally see your purpose.
there always
Yeah.
had to be something that He
Something,
had.
yes,
You know, He was
yes.
going to have the last
Yes.
laugh
Yes.
on this very, very
Yeah.
difficult journey. So I started doing voluntary work. I started going to orphanages to do voluntary work, because for me it was, there you are, Jayshree, without a baby, without a child, you're not a mom. And there are
Yes.
children there that
There's an
don't have
abundance of
parents,
parents.
that don't have a mom, that need you to show them some
Some love.
So it was an
Yes.
absolute win-win situation. So go for it.
Yeah.
You know? And I managed to slowly, rope my husband into it. He wasn't very enthusiastic in
Okay.
the beginning. And, and I know that my husband very, very much wanted to be a father.
Yeah.
I know that. And sometimes when I think back on those years, the fact that, that through all these horrible things that were happening to me, that I was denying him his right, was very painful for me.
Just remember, you weren't denying him his right. It's just been in your path that's yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But that's
God
how
had other plans, but I'm sure that
how
went
I
through,
felt,
yeah,
and how I looked at it, that, what, this
Yeah.
was your job. You also had
I
a
think
job.
you can't help but be a bit hard as well on yourself.
Yes.
Like, you know what, but this is what I'm supposed to be doing as a woman,
And especially when I
questioning.
knew how much both of us loved children.
Yes, yes. I
Very,
think
very
that's the
much.
hardest part.
Very,
Yeah.
very much so. Always been part of my
Yeah.
life, children, and having children and being a mom. So I managed to rope my husband into the voluntary work, and
Yeah.
and we used to go and spend time with the babies and play with them. And that's even how I learned how to change a diaper
Wow.
and feed a baby and make a
It
bottle.
was already preparing you
Yes,
for what was
it
to
was
come. Yeah.
such a preparation.
God really had his hand
He's
in the works,
just-
spanner in the works there.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's so amazing how intentional
Yeah,
he is.
yeah.
So I did the voluntary work for quite some time, and then I felt that gentle tugging and that gentle calling, that, what, Jayshree, maybe this is what was meant for you. Adoption is probably the route,
The route to go.
to go. And I prayed a lot about it, and I asked God that, if this is your plan for my life and this is your intention for me, you need to make it
Make it,
happen. The
yes.
clock is ticking.
Yes.
I really want this now.
Like, I want it now.
Yeah, I really want this. And when I spent that time, it was a real game changer. For me, it opened my eyes and my heart to really what is going on in this world. There's so many babies that are given up for adoption. Our orphanages are full. It shouldn't be like that.
And it's so sad that even when you walk into these, because I've done a lot of voluntary work with orphanages, it's something that I think my parents got us involved in. And the sad part is when you walk into these, that all these kids want is just to be held and loved. But because there's so many of them and there's so little assistance, not everyone's getting a daily hug or a cuddle or and it's heartbreaking.
It is very heartbreaking. And, as I said, it opened up a lot to me. And I enjoyed and I cherished every moment, and I really felt that is where, I was meant to be. And I even went on to start preparing their baby food. I used to make homemade baby food for them, which was, for me, it was like therapeutic.
Yes.
Absolutely. I loved every minute of it. And that has now even eventually evolved into an NGO that I have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, called Pureed for a Purpose.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
We need to know more about this. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I've done with a group of volunteers. And we actually make the freshly prepared baby foods, and we donate it. And I have quite a few homes on my list that I provide them to. So that
We
is...
need to chat further about this after.
So that is something that is evolved from that voluntary work.
That's
and
excellent.
it's gone on to something totally different that's also given me so much of pleasure
Yeah.
and in a way fulfilled
Because, you know, at
my
the end of
heart
the
and
day,
purpose.
we can't save everybody. And it's heartbreaking when you go and you see this, you know, and all you want to do is just encumber all of them in your arms and just take all of them home, basically. But the reality is, unfortunately, we can't. But for you to have created this NGO and you doing what you're doing is, yeah,
And I think,
something
it
else.
for me, what's also very important and means a lot is I want that to also be a legacy for Zoe.
Oh, yes.
I would very, very much want her to continue the good work,
Yeah,
so that she gives back all that God has also given and
I'm
blessed
sure
her
she
with.
will. I'm sure she will.
And yeah, she loves
been
it, and I
raised
can
well.
see
Yeah, yeah.
that she enjoys that. So yeah, that is something that is
Yeah.
evolved.
So tell us now, how did Miss Zozo come into yours life?
So after being a volunteer for some time,
Yeah.
my husband and I we agreed that we should explore adoption
Yeah.
more. And we started the paperwork. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of work that
Yeah.
goes behind becoming ready to adopt a child.
And I
you
think
know?
this is what a lot of people need to be educated about, because there's different myths and theories and what have
Yeah.
you surrounding that. And then some people are just too afraid to take that leap because it's like, oh, the task is so, it becomes a task,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
is.
like, it's so tedious. And then you don't know if you're going to have that baby at the end of it. Or so also clue us up onto how the process is.
Yeah. With regards to the process, I think that is like should be like a series on its own.
Yeah.
Because it's quite in depth.
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, it starts off with you having to get police clearance,
Okay.
and then you need to be able to convince that the social workers or whoever you're dealing with that you can afford to give this
Actually.
child a home, and you need to be a good parent
Yes,
and a
yes.
provider. And obviously they have to do their work thoroughly. So as much as
course,
people
yeah.
become frustrated with the process and that it takes so long, it's all in the best interest of the
Yes,
child, and it
just by
has to be
pushing
done.
through. Yeah.
So my husband and I went through the process, and as tedious as it was done. And Zoe was available at that time, to be adopted.
Yeah.
And I was volunteering at a home where she was.
So
In
you had
addition,
met her prior.
I had met her
Okay.
prior. Look, it doesn't always happen like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Obviously, you get matched with a child. That is a process on its own. And she was available to be adopted. So we were happy, with her. She met the criteria. She ticked all the boxes.
Yes.
And for me, she was just a healthy, happy baby girl. And that's all I really wanted.
Yeah.
And she came home to us when she was 8 months old, and I can't even describe to you in words what that day felt like. It was the 2nd of August 2013.
Wow.
She was exactly 8 months old. And it's like I always tell her, that was like the best day of my life.
Because I'm sure your home finally felt like it's complete.
Yes, and the home was ready.
Yes.
Everything was prepared, just waiting for months in advance. And on that day, I really knew what it felt like. Or when any woman who has given birth says that when you hold that baby in your arms and you automatically
Goosebumps.
fall in love when you look at this child. That
That
is
was
how
the
I
feeling.
felt on that day when I finally took Zoe and she was finally mine, and I was finally on that day able to call myself a mother. So that was for me the ultimate. After so much of pain and heartache and
now joy was right
and
there.
loss,
Yeah.
it's like I had a child. I had my daughter, and she was perfect. She was perfect for me,
Yes,
and we were
yes.
a family.
Yes.
And, it was the ultimate joy. And I always tell her that, I have this picture at home, and I always tell her, Zoe, look at this picture.
Yeah.
When you look at this picture, always remember that you made me so happy, your
Aw.
dad and I. And don't forget that even when we fight or have an
Yes,
argument,
yes.
just always go back to that picture
Yes, yes.
and remember how much we love you.
Because of course she's preteen now, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
So yeah, that's the joyous ages. Yeah. So there's going to be
Navigating a minefield,
lots
yeah.
of fights and arguments. Yeah.
So that's where we are now. But, going back, I always go back to that day.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was the most amazing feeling. I was like really walking on air that day. It brought me so much of joy. She brought me so much of joy. And, my husband and I, we were thrilled beyond words.
Yes. Yes.
That we finally could call this girl, our daughter.
That's yours.
That's my daughter.
Yes.
Even now when I say that's my daughter.
And having that title of mum and
Yes.
dad is just.
For us, that's what we always wanted. The journey to get there was really long and hard and difficult and painful, but we got
But now
there.
you
and
understand God's
it's-
purpose and you see it.
Exactly, and
Okay?
He showed
Yes.
up in the most phenomenal way.
Yes.
For me.
And he put you through all of that because he was toughing you for what's coming.
Yeah.
So
I'm
yeah.
always grateful. I'm
Yeah.
always grateful for the journey. You always have to be grateful for the road that you walk on.
Yeah.
And lots of times it's a painful road.
And it's hard to
tough.
also see that. I know a lot of women walking in that shoes. It's hard to see that rainbow at the end of it all.
It's very hard. You don't ever see it. You only see the storms.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the rainbow is there. And I'm
there.
not saying
It's
that, women who are listening or going to listen to this interview who are going through the process, who are battling PCOS, because it really is, it's a demon.
yeah.
So, I'm not saying that, adoption is the answer for you, because adoption is not the
Not
cure
for
for
everyone.
for
Yeah.
infertility.
Yeah.
Some people accept the diagnosis. Some people accept the fact that they're not going to be parents.
Yes.
Everybody's journey is different.
Different,
But all
yeah.
I can say is that you need to embrace your journey, and you need to pray. And
I think above all else, yeah.
the answers will be revealed.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to get a bit deeper into, I know, raising Zoe, and
Okay.
I know you had to face the whole being told your child has ADHD. How was that for you? Because there's millions of mothers right now who are absolutely walking this path of being told their child's ADD, ADHD, on the spectrum, or autistic. How was it for you? Because
Okay, for me, Zoe basically was a normal, healthy, happy child. She reached all her milestones on time. She spoke early and spoke very well.
right.
Always active, always bubbly. Everybody just loved her and accepted her. And she was the most amazing child. So, having issues at school was not something that ever crossed my mind. As far as I was concerned, she was
gonna-
going to excel in school.
yes.
School was going to be a breeze. And my husband and I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Because she was so smart.
Yes.
And, she spoke well. She spoke early. She knew everything. And, she was just a bundle of joy.
Yes.
And beautiful personality, quirky,
I know
intelligent.
that. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know her because you
Yes,
know her
yes.
personally. But if I can describe her, kindness and somebody who feels for others. She just has the most beautiful qualities. So I was never anticipating any problems when she went to school.
Right.
So when she went to, I think it was like grade R, but it was in like an informal like play school
Okay,
actually,
okay.
And one day her teacher, who was obviously a very experienced teacher, called me aside and told me that, I think there will be, or there might be, an issue with Zoe, because I can see that she doesn't I think it was puzzles. She doesn't do puzzles very well, or she loses focus, and she doesn't follow instructions, and she brought those things to my
So
attention.
she was more or less like, what, 5 or 6 then?
5, yes. She was exactly
okay.
5. So I was like, this child is only 5 years old, and give us some time.
Yeah.
And because she was immediately, I think you and your husband should have her tested. And I thought to myself, tested? at age 5. But I took her advice because I thought, you know what, this is somebody that's experienced and has obviously
And
seen
also, as a
kids.
first-time mom now, you're like, okay, what the teacher says now, I'm going to go with it.
Yes,
you
and
know?
I was quite taken aback
Yeah.
and very, worried and stressed
Yeah.
about it. So I did take her to be tested. And at age 5, they presented me with a very gloom and doom diagnosis of Zoe.
At age 5.
At her age, and like, oh no, she can't do this, and this is lacking. But she's only 5 years old. She's
Yeah.
got so much of growing
Still
to
developing
do,
and coming into her own.
she'll be fine. And as she progressed then to grade 1 and so on, it was the same scenario.
story, okay.
The same. I was getting the same feedback, and then she's got ADHD. What is that? I didn't even know what that was. Executive functioning. Those kind of words were just thrown, and I didn't know what they meant. All I knew was that I had to do the best for my daughter because there she's presenting with something that I don't understand and something I'm not familiar with. I was anticipating no problems at school and her doing well, and here it's like you're telling me she can't follow instructions and she needs all these different therapies. And it's really been a long and hard journey for Zoe and I with her diagnosis. And all I can say is I did my research and I've taken her for multiple therapies. She's gotten all the help that she possibly can. It's something that's ongoing. She's improving every day. Sometimes she regresses.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she is doing her best.
Yes.
And as long as she's trying and doing her best, all I can do is be happy for with that.
Support her, yeah.
And support her and be there for her, which I have been.
Yeah.
I've been like a mother from hell to Zoe because I'm constantly with the teachers. I'm constantly with the therapist. I constantly want feedback.
But I know you want to be on top of things and our kids will not understand this till their parents. But it's like you want to be on top of everything and make sure that she's on par basically with.
Yeah, and I've learned so much in the process. And I've as I said, I've taken her for countless therapies, doctors, gotten her all the help she can. And I always tell Zoe, and I've told all her teachers and all her therapists from day one, that you know what, I really fought to be a mother to this child. She's mine. With all her warts and all, she's mine.
Yes.
And I will, my words to them were always, I'll never give up on her. No matter what happens,
100%.
Whatever journey Zoe is on, wherever life takes her, I'm going to be there. I'm not going to give up on her. I'm going to make sure that she fulfills her purpose, the purpose for which God created her. And He put me in her life.
For a huge reason.
And I see it now.
Yes.
I see it. Not to make myself look like a martyr or put myself on a pedestal. In no way. But the two of us were meant to be together. We were meant to be together maybe because I was supposed to be an integral part of her for her development and her fulfilling her purpose. And I believe, and I strongly believe, and I will always say that I know that God has a massive purpose for her to fulfill. And whatever it is, I know that it's going to be amazing.
Yes.
And I say that to myself every morning, even when I get irritated with her and it's difficult and she doesn't want to do something, I say to myself, Jayshree, you are here to fulfill and help Zoe get to where she needs to be.
Yeah.
And that is going to be the greatest thing of all.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that you'll ever do. And that's what keeps me going.
Sure. But how has it been like as a parent dealing with a child like on an everyday basis that has ADHD? Like what advice can you offer to mums and dads who have kids with ADHD or have just recently been diagnosed with that? What helps you? What's the do's? What's the don'ts?
Sure, that's a difficult one because, most of the time I feel I'm not getting it right.
Yeah.
Because, when you're dealing with a child that's got ADHD, your instinct is to like raise your voice because They
Because your
are,
patience would run
and
quite
they
thin.
test you.
Yeah.
They test
yeah.
you quite a bit.
Yeah.
But not to forget that, the things that they do,
Mm.
like forgetting something or misplacing something, going back to the room because they've forgotten a book and you're ready to go into the car to take
Yes.
them to school, and losing a jersey, misplacing a lunchbox. Sometimes they just don't have control over those
Those
things.
things. Yeah.
And I think for me, that has been the most difficult part, is accepting that, you know what, she's not doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
That's just who
It's
she
just
is.
she is.
That's what she's struggling with.
I mean, us as
That is,
adults, we forget
that is
things, you know?
ADHD,
Yeah,
and you need to embrace that. You can't raise your voice, and I promise you, I do it every day. Every day I have to remind myself constantly
gotta
that, you know what, you're dealing with a child that has these challenges. She doesn't mean to irritate you. Maybe it might be coming across like that,
Like that,
but she
yeah.
just cannot.
Control the way she feels or expresses herself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She can't. She can't help herself.
Yeah.
And as much as she's on medication, it helps her. She has to have it. So people who think, oh no, you shouldn't be medicating this child, she cannot cope without the medication.
It. And you as a parent, you've made that concerted effort to do what's best for your
And
child.
I've done it in conjunction with a wonderful doctor.
Okay.
Who's helped her, who's brought her so far. So you just have to be surrounded with people that know ADHD, doctors, your therapist, and work hand in hand with them.
Guidance.
And the most important thing is not to get frustrated, although that is something that's going to happen on a daily basis. And learning to deal with that, as a parent, it's difficult. It's so difficult. But we all do difficult. We have to.
That's life.
It is
That
life.
is life. Sometimes your patience runs thin. Sometimes you do have a lot of patience. It's just you've got to take each day, I think, as it comes, basically.
And with children that have ADHD, so they're always looking for that next dopamine fix. And usually your mother is where you're going to try and get it from. Like, do you remember you told me that 2 weeks ago, Mom, and you didn't do it? Meanwhile, you can't remember what you said yesterday.
Yes.
So, that dopamine fix is always there. So you need to find a way to work around that. To redirect.
Oh, yes.
To redirect.
Yes.
Oh, no, let's not
Let's
talk
not
about that right
that.
now. Maybe now is not an appropriate time.
Yes.
And it's hard because they can
I
be
know.
defiant.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So,
I
that's
think
my
kids
life
in
on a daily
general,
basis.
oh my gosh, they know how to press the right buttons.
Yeah.
The wrong buttons for us, but they know how to press the right buttons to their advantage. And you've just got to be. I constantly say, if I don't scream like a banshee at least once a week, then our house is not normal.
Well, at least you're doing well for once a week. So with me, it's like once a day. And you have 3, and I only have 1 to deal with. Yeah.
And I've got at any given time, the other morning, they were all ready to get off to school. So each of them come individually to the kitchen, and then eventually all 3 are there having their breakfast. And then you just sit and you wait, who's it going to be today? Someone's bound to have a meltdown. And then that specific day, the 2 older ones came through, and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, well done. There was no screaming this morning. And then I was like, okay, hold on. Your little brother hasn't arrived as yet. And oddly enough, he was as chirpy as ever. And when they left, I was like, oh my God, I didn't scream today.
Well done.
That was like, give
victory.
myself a pat on the back. That's a huge victory.
Yeah, huge victory.
Because
for
it's
you.
also dealing with personalities.
Yes.
And I'm sure in your home, though there's just Zoe, but there's your personality, there's Zoe's personality, and there's your husband's personality. And there's bound to be a clash somewhere.
Yes, clashes.
And she's going
amazingly.
through preteen now. So that's a special age.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Look, I am so happy that she's 13 and she's come so far.
Oh no, she's 13, not preteen. She's
she's
teen.
13.
Yeah.
She turned 13 on the 2nd of Jan.
Yes.
And, to look at her and see this young lady emerge, from the baby that I brought home all those years ago, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling, looking at her. I'm so proud of Zoe. I really am. So, it's challenging.
Oh, and I think she's going to be so warmed if she gets to see this episode. And
Yeah.
also, we're teenagers. They know we love them, but they don't know we love them in a sense. Because there's a lot more of backlash that you get from a teenager that you would have got when they're 7 or 8. And I know I constantly do this with my 15 or almost 16-year-old, that if I shout or reprimand him, like, but I still love you, you know I love you. And he would pull his face and whatever but it's like with that age group, you got to constantly remind them that you are still extremely loved.
Yeah.
We would do anything for you. We would kill for you. We'd,
Yeah.
But you need to be reprimanded if you're out of line. So you need to accept that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like almost at this point in their lives, if you reprimand them and if you scold them or challenge them, it's almost like they feel like, oh no, maybe she loves me a little less. Because
Yes.
of the way she's reacting.
Yes.
And then you're right, you constantly need to remind them
No,
that they are loved. And
yeah.
Zoe is extremely loved. I mean,
Yes,
she's
yes.
everything to me.
Oh,
She's
no,
everything
that-
that I
yeah.
ever wanted, And I hope she never forgets that, although,
I don't think she will. I don't think she's smothered with so much of love, and
she is, she's
to
everything
know
to
that
us, a
she's-
blessing.
yes, she's been given this beautiful life. God really had a purpose for her soul as well as yours.
Yeah.
So I know there's always this question of like, a lot of people have different takes on adoption. I myself personally, before falling pregnant with our 3rd child, we were going to go an adoption route because I always wanted another child. But physically, I had horrible pregnancies and whatever. So I knew, like, right, my kids, the older one had also volunteered at one of the kids' homes. So he understood that mom doesn't need to grow a baby in her tummy for us to have another sibling. And, well, I guess God had other plans because we did. Also, I just want to find out about this grace period that the birth mom is given. Because when we found out about that is when I took a bit of a step back of 6 months. And I said, I will not physically be able to give a baby back. And I think that's when we were like, okay, let's just take, a couple of weeks to think about this. And well, clearly God had other plans because in that couple of weeks, I found out that I was pregnant with the 3rd one. But for me personally, that was the bit of the roadblock in a sense, where you don't know, should you go ahead or should you not? Because how will my kids even be able to say, no, I have to give my brother back?
That is an important, as I said, adoption is so multi-layered that it needs a podcast like this. It needs to be discussed in detail because there's so many different facets that they have to be explored and people don't know about.
And we need to be educated about this.
Absolutely.
And I think
education
a lot
is the key.
more people or couples would want to go the route of adoption if they are educated well enough on the process. Because just like me, the grace period thing absolutely freaked me out.
Flawed you, yes.
But should I have pushed forward? Okay, circumstance became a bit different, but had I been more educated about this is how the process is, and and statistically how much of a percentage actually come back to take, and then when you look at that and you're like, okay, it's not so massive, but like if you don't know now,
that's it. As I said, it all boils down to education. And during that grace period, when a mom relinquishes her birthright over a child, ideally that baby would be in a place of safety or an orphanage at that time, and not with the prospective adoptive parents.
Okay.
So it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
So the mom does have a right to change her mind. Absolutely. The law favors her. And if she changes her mind, then the baby goes right back to her because it is her baby.
Okay. And it is that 6-month duration, or is it?
Look, I need to find out about the 6 month. From my knowledge, and I'm sure it's probably changed, it used to be 3 months. So maybe they extended the period. I'm not sure. Yes, but that is correct. She does have a right to change her mind.
Yeah. But with all of that being said, we're now going to focus on a bit of career. your passion and your identity. So you've spent over, 21 years working in the government sector.
Yes.
Yet your passions are cooking and writing. Tell us more about this.
Yes, I have been working for many years now.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy my corporate job. Although, if I didn't have to work, I would
Right,
be
yeah.
doing so many different
Yeah.
things. And, you mentioned cooking,
Cooking.
and writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Cooking, my family loves a home cooked
Yes,
meal,
yes,
like
yeah.
most families. My husband is my biggest critic
Yeah.
to my cooking. I never used to be the best cook, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
There's a backstory. I grew up in a home where I had like a mom who could do anything.
Okay.
She was a mom from one of those, back in the day.
Yes.
Old
that
school
they did
moms
everything for the kids.
Yes,
And
and they were perfect.
But
Like
yes.
they could do whoop up
Yeah.
everything or anything.
They were a special generation.
Yes, they
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
were
yeah.
a special generation. And my mom, she was at home. She didn't work. So I was extremely spoiled. I didn't, to my own detriment, go into the kitchen and learn from her.
Yeah.
Which is something that I regret to this day, being 50 years old.
Yeah.
Because my mom suddenly passed away when I was 18. In fact, a week short of my 19th birthday.
Sure.
It was, I never thought that I would be burying my mom at that age.
That's
But it
hard.
happened, and that was hard.
Yeah.
That was like one of the most difficult
Such
journeys.
a delicate age.
Yeah,
to
I
have
really
to-
needed
yeah.
my mom at that point in my life. I mean, I just finished school, and I was
yeah.
out and studying, and then and she was gone, and it was a shock to my system, and I was left, in a sink or swim situation. And I promise you, I'm proud to tell you this, that at that age, I could not even boil water. Leave alone
Wow.
cook a meal or
Yes,
take care of
yes.
a house. I could not do it.
But I mean, in your defense, your mum was doing it for you.
Yes.
So,
So-
and how Indian mothers are.
Yes,
So,
and
yeah.
because I lost her at such an integral part of my growing up, I think that also fueled my intensity to be a mother.
Yeah.
To give somebody what she gave me,
you,
even though it was for such a short time.
Yeah.
So my mom was like the ultimate. And I never got the opportunity to learn from her, which I regret. So it was a journey for me, learning how to be a homemaker, to cook, and all of that. So I really put a lot of effort into learning. And I can say now that, I've perfected a lot of
Yes.
dishes. I love it. I absolutely love it. There is nothing that gives me joy laying out a table and my guests saying, "Oh God, that was amazing, Jayshree. Oh, that was beautiful."
Imagine if you
That
could
mean-
go back to your 18-year-old self going
Yes.
like, well, I perfected cooking
Yes.
and I couldn't boil water.
And I really, I feel for my 18-year-old self,
Yeah.
but I'm proud of my 18-year-old self,
course.
because my 18-year-old self had to do hard things.
Yes,
And
yes,
doing hard
yes.
things and doing the right things, should I say,
Yes.
was hard.
Yes.
But I did it.
Yeah.
I did
And
it.
it
I
made
really
you
did.
into who you are right now.
It molded me into who I
Yes.
am. And I have to say that I'm proud of myself, not, to sound arrogant, but
Yes.
hey, I've come a long
Oh,
way.
that is not arrogant. Own it. Oh, gosh.
So,
yeah.
yes, I have to, because, I can really throw a meal together.
Yes.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, awesome.
And
And I know that delightful feeling when you have guests over and you've like spent so much of time preparing these meals and then you get these compliments.
yes,
And like it just makes everything just so worthwhile. It's like
It does.
I get you. My happy place is the kitchen.
yes.
I feel I just zen out when I'm cooking. It's the most. I can't agree on washing the dishes.
Yeah.
But the cooking, yes.
That's what we have the dishwasher for.
There we
Yes,
go.
so, but
There we go.
I also love it. It's, it's really...
It's very therapeutic.
It's very
Cooking
therapeutic.
is therapeutic. It's,
And, it has to be done it can't be rushed.
yes,
It has to be savored.
Yes.
It has
And
to
when
be...
you have your guests eat your food or your family eat your food, they feel the love in it
Yes.
cliched as that sounds.
No, but it's
but
true.
it really is true.
Yeah, the main
Yeah.
ingredient has to be
To
love.
be love.
And oh my God, I love it. I even love attending cooking classes and
Yes.
just getting better all the time. And
Yes.
I look forward to doing more of that this year.
Oh,
Because,
awesome.
I'm 50 now
Yeah,
and time is limited and you have an appreciation for time. You value it
of
and you
course.
value
Yeah.
and you realize you've got to do what makes you happy. And if
And
it
there's
means
no better
me,
time like the year now.
yes.
Yeah.
So if it means me going for more lessons and to perfect this art,
Why
then
not?
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's you. It's
But
a
I
you
love
year.
it.
You need to, embrace it and go
Yes.
forth with it.
Yeah.
And if you're making even more tastier food, then why not?
Why not?
It's going to be beneficial to everybody.
To everyone, yes.
So, yeah.
So yeah, even Zoe as well. You know what? She loves my cooking, and it makes me happy. It brings me such immense joy when she says,
Yes.
"Oh, Mom, that was a great meal, and I love your food. I love your mutton curry."
And to have our kids love curry,
Yes.
that's like the biggest compliment
Yes,
ever.
the ultimate, yeah.
Yes.
So when she tells me that really warms my heart. And it's just that I just want to do better.
Yeah.
And do make things and prepare meals and dishes that she loves, because it's her now, and she's going to one day tell her kids about her mom's
And
cooking.
I'm sure when she's making a mutton curry for her kids, she'll be like, that was my mom's recipe, or that is my mom's recipe. And, she used to make this specific dish for me. And to pass that down.
That's what I want. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. So on reflecting back, what has your journey taught you about surrender and trust? Because at a certain point, you needed to basically surrender and say, I'm trusting the process in this. And
Yeah, look, it's been very difficult because I tend to get stressed out very easily about situations that I can't control.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest lesson for me is realizing that not every situation can and will be controlled, and surrendering and trusting God, who you can't see but who's there, has been the biggest lesson for me. And it's been difficult getting there, but going forward, that is all I can do. And it speaks a lot about your faith. You have to have a lot of faith in order for you to truly and utterly surrender and trust God in whatever plans He has for your life. And I do believe that He's not done with me, and I do believe that there's still so much more to come. And I'm hoping that this year I can reach out and reach harder for my goals and my dreams, of which I have many. I've focused a lot of my time on my family, and which has brought me great joy, especially Zoe, and making sure that she has like a memorable life, not necessarily one with material things, but with memories, with core memories, beautiful memories that she can look back and say, my mom did this for me and my family, my parents took me here.
And that's what kids actually keep, what they register. I mean, even us as well. If we take it back, like now you were talking about your mom, and you have these core memories of back in the day of how your mom would spoil you and what have you. So it truly is not the materialistic part of it. It's all the memories that you make together. As simplistic as some of them are.
Yeah.
But those are the memories that you would carry on like forever.
Yeah, and it's
till
usually
brain fog settles in.
and it's usually the simple things.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm busy creating for her, and maybe sometimes she doesn't always see it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be remembered as this raging mom who always was upset and angry with her because she wasn't doing something right.
I think we all, I think all mums do struggle with that.
Yeah,
I just you really aren't alone with that. Trust me.
Want her, like when she does reach adulthood, to still want to have a relationship with me. It means a lot.
Yeah,
it really means a lot to me, and that I really want that to always be in her life.
Yes. A quick question: has she ever approached you guys with wanting to find her her biological mum, Has she ever? I just want to know how that was dealt with, if she has.
All right. Look, being a transracial adoption, obviously the topic came up very early. And my husband and I have been completely honest with Zoe.
Okay.
We speak openly about her being adopted. So we tell her that, it's not something that you need to be ashamed of or shy away from, because we adopted you, we love you, we wanted you. We aim to give you a wonderful life. We love you, you are our daughter. But, there was another mom. You did come from another mom.
Yes.
And Zoe's take on it, she doesn't always like to refer to her biological mom as her mom. She always says that I'm her
You're
mom,
her mom. Yes.
which is true.
Yes.
I am
You
your
are
mom.
her mom. Yeah.
But like my hope for her is, Zoe, these were the circumstances via which you came to us. I don't know whether you'll ever meet your mom, but that is your decision to make when you reach adulthood. And if you do, I will support you, and I will support her. Because it's her journey.
Yes. You can't deny
I
her.
can't deny her that. I will be very supportive, like I have been.
Yeah.
And my only hope is that, and I say this to Zoe all the time, that what I would like for you is to have complete forgiveness when it comes to your biological mom. That is very important. That should be a starting place for you when you are ready.
Yeah.
I would like you to forgive her. And I tell her that whenever we speak about her adoption, and we speak very openly about it. It's an open topic in our home.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to hide.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important, that everything is out in the open, and that we can speak about it frankly.
Yes.
And that's what we do for her, because at the end of the day, it's a big part of her life.
Of course.
And she must be acknowledged, and her feelings must be acknowledged.
Yes.
And we aim to do that every day.
You guys are amazing parents, honestly. I hope you know that, acknowledge that, and that's you are.
We are trying.
And the way you've approached this entire thing as just, So, yes.
Thank you for saying
Round of
that.
applause for you guys. I mean, you really have to embrace that and take that in. Knowing that you've become a family of 3, that's your daughter, and y'all are doing a bloody amazing job with her. And she will, or she does already, I'm sure, appreciate it. But as an adult, I think she's going to look back going, in a way, she's thankful that her biological mother was somewhat not in the picture, because her mum, she got to meet her mum and her dad and have the amazing life that she has, filled with so much of love. So that's just wow. So sorry I sidetracked there. I just needed to know how, you guys addressed that if it did come up. So what would you say to women who are actually grieving the life they thought they would have? Women who are going through this journey right now of coming to terms with, I'm not going to be able to physically carry my baby. And do I give up on motherhood? Or, what's your advice to them?
Sure. Yeah, it's a bit of a difficult one, because I know I have been on that road. I have been where they have been, and it so happens that my story ends with adoption. It doesn't mean that everybody's story is going to end there. If it is something that you feel in your heart that you can explore, then by all means do it. I'm not saying that every infertile woman should adopt a baby. It's not how it works. It's not everyone's plan.
Yes, and they shouldn't be judged on that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of
this
stigma to that, where it's, but she can't have a baby, so why doesn't she adopt? Well, and it's not as simple as that.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not as simple, because it's not for everyone.
Yes.
And that's the truth.
Yes.
I would say to them, don't grieve too much. Redirect your energy. There's so much more that you can do. There's a lot. There's different avenues. There's different paths to achieving motherhood. So, it's you need to keep your faith. You need to focus on your health if it's a health issue, and just remember that there's a plan and purpose for every life.
Yeah.
So finding your purpose and working at it is what you should be doing. Because even if your future doesn't involve a child or being a mother, you still have so much to offer.
There's so
Us
much
women,
more,
we
yeah.
just have too much to give.
Yes,
We can do too many things, and we excel in every aspect of our
that you put-
lives.
yes.
And we're doing it every day.
Yeah.
We're multitasking
Yeah,
every day.
yeah.
So there is a plan and purpose for everyone. That's
gotta
all
trust
I
it.
can say. You
Yeah.
just need to trust. You need
Yeah.
to surrender. You need to have lots of faith, and it's going to come to you.
Yes.
What was meant to be.
Thanks for that. So in closing, what would you leave, one truth bomb that you would leave our listeners with, especially now turning 50, and just give it to us. What's your realizations turning 50?
Gosh. The one realization was, how did I get here? How did 50 come upon me like that? Just like a slap in the
Yes,
face.
yes,
That's what it
yeah.
is. It was like a huge slap in the face. You're 50 years old.
You just wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, 50. Like,
You've lived 5 decades. Do you realize what that is? 5 decades of living on this earth. And
when
you've
you
done
look at
a
it
lot.
like that, it's like, whoa, it's like mind blowing.
It is. And it's like you've done so much.
Yes.
You've done a lot. You should be happy to know that you've made a difference in people's lives. And that should make you very happy. I think for me personally, I think 50 came very quickly. The last 10 years just whizzed past
by.
me. I was wondering where and how.
Yeah.
And now that I'm here, I look back and there were so many things that I wanted to do, which I didn't get to do because of life happening.
Yeah.
So now that I'm 50, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Hit the ground running.
I'm
and
going
you're gonna
to-
do you. Yeah.
To try my best to make all those little dreams that I've held in my heart for so long become a reality. That's what I want to do.
I think it's when it clicks that I'm not as old, but I'm not as young. And then all of a sudden time is valued so much. And you realize,
That's it, yeah.
I've got to get into gear here.
Yeah, time becomes your friend and your enemy.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how much time I've got left, but hell, I'm going to make the most of it. It becomes very valuable to you. And I would encourage everyone to, at whatever age you are, to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Really, it is short. As they say, life is short. And since I'm also short, only 1.47 meters, I have...
You've got to get going.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any taller.
Thank you so much, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. I feel like we can go on chatting for maybe another 2 or 3 hours because there's so much more to tackle, and we need to have you back on to TBHF. Yes, for another episode.
Absolutely, I would love that.
But I know with your
Thank
schedule
you.
and stuff, so we really appreciative that you've taken this time off to be with us here and share some insight on so much. I think this is going to bring so much of value to our listeners. Because these are topics that we needed to touch on.
Yeah, they're hot topics.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
But
chat
thank you.
about.
Thank you so much. I'm really grateful to be here and for you giving me this opportunity. It's been an opportunity like no other. And I thank you and I'm so grateful. God bless.
Right back at you. So guys, that's a wrap on this episode of TBHF. Like, share, follow on all our socials. To the next episode.